Tell us a little bit about what you do. We've all heard about private equity, but there's also private credit behind it. How do they work together?
Well, at private Equities First Holdings, we have our basis for our private equity is a client's assets. So we actually are in a space that is growing. It's been recently gauged at 800 billion. We think it even getting larger, and we are totally, different from the traditional financing. So it's strictly on what the client's collateral is worth and how we gauge that.
Okay, so who's actually borrowing the money at the moment these days? And of course, in this era of incredibly low interest rates globally, what sort of returns are you looking at?
Well, we actually are seeing growth in every sector. Lots of different companies and private individuals are coming to us as the market tightens up in traditional lending. So we are getting these clients from all different sectors. Recently, we had a firm, a conglomerate in China, that we actually provided $250 million worth of USD for their research and development group. And they were able then to kind of branch off into a different direction. The times are different now. They're ever changing. COVID has impacted a lot of companies, and so they have to maybe restructure how they do their business. That we've been able to help those companies. Also, in regard to the interest, we've always been competitive with the banks, actually better than traditional lending, and we've always been that way. So we'll stay the same way. We'll keep our structure the same.
Absolutely. Just tell me a little bit about the restructuring that companies are having to do as a result of the pandemic, and actually the impact COVID has had on business who need money at the moment, and you being there to perhaps help finance.
Well, we just see a lot of businesses that are needing to diversify. It may be for lots of different reasons, but with the COVID impact, many companies have to do their business differently. We're all working from home. A lot of us are working from home still in the US. So everyone is trying to kind of reshape their businesses to be profitable. We see a lot of growth in 2021. We're actually looking forward to that. We feel confident. We're expanding in Asia. One of our biggest markets is in Asia, and we're in Hong Kong. We have about 800 million allocated to Hong Kong and Asia Pacific region in the next 36 months. So we're excited for what the future has to bring.
We've been talking about how you're seeing pretty much unprecedented interest. I'm just wondering, where are you seeing a rise in activity? Are we looking at small and medium enterprises, for instance? Is that where you're seeing growth coming from?
We see growth in all different areas. So the main area that we see is for our clients who are having traditional financing fall through for them. They are not able to possibly keep up on the credit that they've had in the past, maybe possibly by their margin lending. We're able to help our clients get out of that with better terms, and then offer them a little bit more comfort, a little bit an easier way to go, have you will. So, but all sectors we're seeing a growth and a lot of interest in.
The thing, Julie, is that there are risks still because we're uncertain still how the pandemic will impact certain industries in particular. I mean, what's the risk of putting money out too fast to these companies?
In regards to the risk, Equities First is run by our founder, Al Christie, who has a very good appetite for risk. He also has a very good way to control that. The risk that we take on is, once again, through a client's collateral or through the assets that they have to offer in their publicly traded position. And so that helps us monitor that risk and control it better than some other areas.
Julie, earlier we talked about how we're seeing this shift because of COVID-19. Do you expect the shift to be maintained post-COVID-19 when the vaccine is, found and banks are willing to lend again?
I foresee this actually going on for a while. Yes. So COVID-19 has impacted so many companies, and the lasting effect is going to be there for a while. I don't see that going away very soon. Even after a vaccine is found, I feel like the impact that it's had is going to last and linger for a while.
Julie, let's talk about diversity, because within the industry, you see the participation of women rising from here. Why is that? What's driving that optimism?
I believe that the diversity that we see in our women workforce and leadership has just been, I really don't know what the reason is, but I feel like that Equities First, especially, we have diversified our leadership in women. We're in sales, we're in accounting, we're in compliance, we're in operations. So in every aspect of Equities First, we are about 36% in women in the leadership roles, and we're looking to gain that up to 50% at least within the next few years.
Julie, in light of these revelations in the New York Times, would you be lending any money to, or should I say, what would you do if Donald Trump wanted a loan from Equities First?
Well, if President Trump would want a loan from Equities First, he'd have to pass our due diligence. In my 30 years of experience, I look at a lot of applications, and he would have to have the criteria. And if he met that, we would welcome him.